Pharmacy Guide presents small tribute to all pharmacists and upcoming pharmacists all over the world for the auspicious occasion of World Pharmacist Day. The theme for this year's World Pharmacist Day is Transforming the Global Health, and this video will be showing that how an academician can effectively contribute to improve the pharmacy practice in India. This presentation will be presented by Assistant Professor of the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, GIS University, Mr. Sakshar Shah. Let's see what we have. Academic. Academic means it is a phenomenon which is to relate to schools, colleges, universities or connected with studying and thinking, not with practical skills. And in the same way, academician means they are the member of the academy for promoting the science, art and literature. Or we can say a follower. An academician is a follower of artistic or philosophical tradition or a promoter of its ideas. Now if we have to talk about what are the roles of an academician, what academicians actually do, then we would be seeing some of the important points. So these are not only the roles, but these are some of the important roles. Academicians belonging to all streams and disciplines need to look and understand how politics not just affect the students, but also discipline itself. The major roles which include academicians need to train all the students in contemporary issues such as comparative politics, which means it is tough to students to compare political issues in India at international level. So politics is not only something we should be avoiding of, it's something we should be doing for the betterment of our country. It's not about that academician will improve your study skills and the way you will improve yourself only. We can also contribute being an academician for the nation. Compare our country to all other countries out there and to get the best out of it. After a comprehensive study of politics, students need to be instilled with a vision of Gandhi and enter politics focusing on non-violence. They need to be taught to believe in dialogue and deliberative democracy so that rival parties with different ideologies can come together and resolve seemingly irreconcilable issues. They have pitted one group against another, rich against poor, upper class against backward class. For me, it is very important whenever a student is growing, there is a pharmacist or any other student. Okay, so we need to build that idea as an academician, as a teacher, that there should not be any discrimination between rich or poor, upper class or lower class. If you have the potential and if you are belonging from poor class, does not matter. You should go forward or you should have or get the opportunities. Academician needs to come to innovative and tech-friendly ideas to conquer the issues of distant teaching. Because the present situation we are running through, the distant teaching is one of the important things in the academics. So we should be very tech-friendly and we have to make our students believe that this technology can actually help us being at a distance to go through our studies and complete it and achieve something. If we see the whole scenario during the COVID-19 situation, COVID-19 pandemic situation in India, we can see from this graph, we can see that COVID-19 confirmed new cases, recovered deaths by day in India. We can see the statistics till March 2020, 19th March 2020, and we can see the number of cases have increased. And if we see the present situation, present statistics, the number of recovered patients have also been increased. But one thing I'm sure we all have seen, that no segment in our nation, starting from politics, finance, or anything, haven't been stopped. Initially it have, but right now it is running with a new idea, new technology. At present, if we see the number of active cases in India is this: 48,46,427, and death occurred till 14 September 2020 is 79,722. It's a big number. So in this situation, we should not be exposing the students who are the future of our nation in the danger. So that's why it's very important to adapt the technology, adapt the system of distant or e-learning or digital learning. If we see the education system at present, so India has the world's largest education system with over 250 million students enrolled in some 1.5 million schools, another 37.4 million students enrolled in approximately 50,000 higher education institutes, where the higher education, you see, is being provided. Due to coronavirus situation, let's see the present scenario. Chalk-talk mode of education system turns into education through internet, because we are right now connected with all out there, with your friends, with your colleagues, with your students even, or with your relatives through the digital media. So this chalk-talk system given birth to different platforms to conduct the education system rather, that is Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Classroom, Whiteboard My Perfect Eyes, Google Meet. So these are all of the systems we are utilizing since I think last April 2020 or March 2020 for conducting the classes, and I think we are being successful. If we see the continuity of learning of students in urban versus rural areas, so this data I'm providing according to a survey by National Statistics Office, that is NSO. Household social consumption of education in rural and in urban areas. So in case of rural areas, what we can see that 4% of rural population has access to computer. That's quite less. 15% of rural households have access to the internet. And 10% of students can operate the computer. So if we can see these statistics, it's very, very low in terms of, the statistics of urban population in terms of achieving the success in the digital platform, in the education system. If we want to continue the education system in digital platform, then this statistic should be improved very soon. In case of urban system, 23% of urban population has access to the computer, which is quite 19% more than rural population. 42% of urban households have access to the internet. That's quite good. And 32% of students can operate the computer. That is also 22% more than the rural population. So the statistics is expectedly better in the urban areas than the rural areas. But if we see as an overall structure in a combined way, both the numbers are not very good. To think that this will give us the best results. No. In case of urban and rural population, the statistics should be, or the numbers should be more. In digital readiness of government versus private educational institute, almost all private institutes are utilizing the digital platform to conduct their classes. So here, one of the picture I'm showing where how the digital classes are being performed through this picture is from Google Meet. So as you can see, this is the way the digital classes are being taken. But the same scenario has not been seen in case of government institute. Maybe the declaration of closing of those government institute by the central various, and state government, because central and state government have strictly said to close the institute or the schools or colleges, and that's why those institutes are closed. But the private institutes are open and they're taking classes using different various platforms. If we see the digital readiness of schools, first, 72% of respondents have indicated their willingness to explore the digital solutions for school continuity. So it's a big number that the students are in schools, and the guardians, they are also very much willing to have the classes for their children through the digital media. So the 72% is a very good number. Over 37% of respondents have already started some sort of remote schooling by sharing educational content via messaging solutions such as WhatsApp. So in that 72%, 37% of the respondents have already started this, and they are transferring the different datas like different notes of school of various subjects through WhatsApp or other digital platforms. 47% of primary schools, 51% of secondary and higher secondary schools have already, uh, shown their willingness to do such. Over 60% of private colleges and vocational training centers have indicated their willingness to try this digital media for the continuation of the school or the classes. So if we can brief the digital issues, which are the problems which are being faced in the digital media in brief. So it can be said in this way that it will be a complete lie. It will not be a truthful statement if we say that the online teaching is the absolute teaching medium to expect the maximum positive output, as there are several issues. It's not like it's error free or it's problem free that are being faced by not only the students but also the faculties or teaching faculties in a day-to-day basis. If we bring up one or two, then internet connectivity issue is the biggest problem for the students and teachers, because internet is such a thing that is not in my hand, not in your hand. So this is a big problem. We need to have a strong internet connection for running the uninterrupted classes. The cost of taking internet connection to use it in a daily basis for a couple of hours, because there will be one class, after that there will be another class. So, at least if we say that for 4 hours we have to conduct the classes, then that will be quite expensive for some of the students or even some of the teachers as well. A group of students do not have the technical skills or expertise which is required to handle all the technical system or online system. That is also need to be taught. Online teaching does not provide that opportunity to conduct the laboratory experiments, which are very, very important in some technical course like B.Pharm, D.Pharm, BMLT, bachelors in pharmacy, or the pharmacy courses, or medical laboratory technology courses, or different scientific courses, where the laboratory in hand experience is really, really, really important, because for them the theoretical skill is not the enough thing to have. Overall, this online system does not come with the internal satisfaction that we used to get when we meet a student in person in the classroom, or even the thing is vice versa, like student does not get that satisfaction when they used to sit with their friends in a classroom and they used to interact with the teachers. That's something which is irreplaceable thing in our life, in a life of a teacher, in a life of a student as well. So if we see some of the virtual lab, I have jotted down some of the softwares which are being utilized in the pharmacy courses like XFarm software, Ilium Inc., Cal, Graphbacterism, ChemSketch. These are some of the softwares where we can actually perform the virtual lab, or we can show the students that how the labs can be performed. So these are the virtual shop software we can use or being useful in these days of pandemic for the students and for conducting the uninterrupted classes. So now I'll be talking about some of the required upliftment in the education system in this digital media right now. We have to incorporate some new policies in education system which supports the e-learning, because that's the one of the most important thing we need right now in our education system. Training of the faculty members or teachers about various digital platforms really required, because we have not been trained for such. We have to learn it by ourselves. So if there is a system of training the teachers or faculty members, that will be really helpful to have a really productive classes. Encouraging them, the teachers, to motivate the students about being attentive in the digital classes and making them updated about the usefulness of e-learning. We are the teachers. Firstly, we have to motivate ourselves, and then we have to spread that motivational energy or motivation to the students, that we have to make them understand why digital learning is important and how we can make it more and more productive instead of, after being at a distance. So that feeling we have to incorporate in the student's mind, thus they should be very much interested in getting something positive or productive out of the e-learning classes. A financial help is required for students, thus they can afford the daily internet data pack. One of the very important things, because the internet is a preliminary requirement right now in everybody's daily life. So it's not like all of the students can afford those data packs. So that help or some kind of scheme should be there. Rural areas does not have the proper internet service, which government needs to take a serious action on to it, because some of the rural areas does not have that particular internet connectivity. So some of the action, I think, our government should take on this. Thus they also can have the benefits which the urban areas students or people can have. Overall, the system should be such which should take care the both sides, teacher and student side. So it's not like we have to only focus on the student side, we have to focus on teacher side and vice versa. Thus the both can get the benefits, or both should be benefited by that policy. And at the end, regular student-teacher interaction is highly required to understand and realize their day-to-day issue. Because it's not like the teachers are facing problem or students are facing some issues. Both are having the same, some different issues maybe. So a teacher should understand the problem which is faced by a student. A student also should understand what kind of issues the teacher is facing. So if there is a mutual interaction or mutual understanding between a teacher and a student, I think the system, the overall education system, can be at such a level that the output or productivity will be at the best in India. These are some of the references from where these informations have been collected. And thank you to all for watching till the end. I just tried to show up. As a pharmacist, I just tried to give a small contribution by taking up some of the few important points which should be discussed in present situation for the education system. I hope somehow to some people this will be helpful, and this was a small tribute to all the pharmacists, and as a teacher to all the teachers and the education system from our channel Pharmacy Guide. So if you have not subscribed our channel Pharmacy Guide, please do subscribe, please do share this channel and this video with your friends, colleagues, and let me know how much you are liking our videos and what kind of suggestions you are having for us in the comment section. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching Pharmacy Guide.